arguing back and forth. I forget about what. And then I just yelled out really loud, I am fucking pregnant. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. I'm pregnant. I don't need this stress. My mom, literally, back in the day, we had payphones and these little things we called breezeways in apartments. I know millennials don't know nothing about that payphone situation. Sorry, I'm kicking totes. But from the moment, the 1 second I found out for real that I was pregnant, my mom took me to the free Mexican clinic. Yes, I was very pregnant. And I had a really big decision to make. On one hand, I had a scholarship to Baylor. And on the other hand, I had a bag full of prenatal vitamins, Similac packs, a diaper, some directions, and a book. Things mothers should know, or that book that all the pregnant people read. And I just remember my mom bitching about how I was going to tell my dad. But I knew 1 second I had this in one hand and this in the other. In 1 second, my life was going to go one way or another. Well, I'm a Taurus, so I'm going to go down the hard road because that's just what we do. And that 1 second, I will never regret in this lifetime or lifetimes to come. I will never regret the decision I had and I made to bring this beautiful human into existence by myself with no help. We were living in a garage. And this chick was born on April 17th in Pasadena, Texas, which for those of you who don't know, it's the south side of Houston. Now, from that moment, 1 second, we put her in my cousin's car. And she's like, oh my God, you're going to take her in there? I said, Lord, this is what my life is right now. My siblings and my newborn. And I'm working at Burger King, trying to support all these kids. My mom is off fucking my dad's family while he's sitting in prison, or actually at that time, he was working offshore. So he's steadily providing and she's steadily using his money for her boyfriends and stuff. So there's that. 1 second changed my whole life. Why is this important? I'm asking these questions to y'all, for y'all to think. I've obviously already thought about them, and that's why I'm here right now. But the other day, during this very heated conversation, the adults of the house had already had a conversation. Now, keep in mind, Maddie lives in Virginia. But Cordelia has her on speakerphone, or FaceTime, sorry. So she set the rules. Maddie, the 24-year-old, right? She's telling us what to do. we go along with it, okay? She says, one person talk at a time, and she's like gonna be Steve Corbett. She's gonna have a timer, and then she will say, okay, now you stop talking, and now you can rebuttal. I felt like I was Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But we were like, okay. So kind of like the Indian talking stick. Her rules. Her rules. Everybody has to hear everybody out, but we're going to do it like this. Cordelia cannot contain her passion. That's what they called it. Their passion. And so she tends to be very disrespectful, and she's not trying to be. She's actually a very big-hearted person. She's very funny, goofy. She's the best friend you could ever have. And I love her to pieces. But I don't want her to struggle through life the way I did. You can't talk to people like that. And then her rebuttal was, I don't talk to my friends like that. Why would I do that? That's so rude. When you back me in a corner as a parent, and I'm sure many of you parents out there feel backed into corners, let me remind you of something. You're always going to be the parent. They are always going to be the children. Age does not make you an adult. It's just a fucking number. 1 second from 17 to 18. 1 second. Hell, take 1 hour. It doesn't make you any smarter. It doesn't make you any wiser. It just means you're getting older. Your age, the number of years that you have been in existence, has no direct effect on your level of education, of your capacity to have humanity and compassion for others, your capacity to understand life as it truly is, your capacity to see things beyond what is actually being put in front of you. And when you have a parent or a set of parents that have busted their ass to make sure that you have everything that you've ever wanted, we make sure you got the things you need. But I'm that bitch that does grandiose things. I love gift giving. I've always been a giver. I don't do it because the oldest has called me fake. She says I'm fake on that call. Let's get back to that for a minute. On that call, for the first time ever, my youngest, screaming and crying, said, you don't take accountability for your actions, and for whatever reason they think they grew up in some tragic, poor situation. That's not the case at all. But that's what they believe. And Madison, oh my God, when Paul and I listened to her, this was a couple of years ago, the first time she went off on me. I was actually truck driving in very bad conditions. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. It was fucking dark, raining, ice, black asphalt. Couldn't ask for anything. I was in the Ozarks. And she told me at that time that she couldn't be my daughter, and she literally blocked me from everything because I won't apologize for the quote unquote traumatizing behavior that was inflicted on her. If Paul would have been sitting in a passenger seat, he probably would have pulled the emergency brake on my fucking 18-wheeler. We're all on three-way. I'm listening to this, and Paul has always been the buffer between me and the girls. Me and the girls go head to head all the time. And Maddie and me are both Aries. Although she's not a true Aries, she's on the cusp. So she's very emotional because she's a cusp baby. She's very emotional, but she's still got the Aries fire in her. Cordelia has that fire too, but she is a Scorpio. Never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever. One more time. Never, ever, ever. Is it okay for a child to ever, one, talk back to an elder, especially your parent? Two, you don't get to cuss in front of your parents until you're older. Much, much older. It's disrespectful. That's the way I was raised. Cussing in front of your mother, which I don't have a relationship with mine, and that's fine. But why is this important? Well, this is twice now that I've been told I am the most selfish person, I'm a narcissist, and I should forget about everything in the past and move on. And, you know, it's kind of like those, like my sister, my blood sister, who lives 20 minutes up the road and never comes to see her niece or nephew. I have been seeing my sister, I don't even know how many years it's been. Probably, well, the last time I seen her in person, well, October will be 5 years. When we put my dad's ashes in the Atchafalaya River. That was almost 5 years ago. And she lives 20 minutes up the road. Why is this important? Kids have a sense of entitlement. I got to hear from my oldest that she left for the military to get away from me. Why? Because I had rules? Because I told you what the fuck to do? I grounded her ass when she was 18 because she went and got a tattoo. And it wasn't the fact that she was 18 and she was legal to get the tattoo. That's something that I want to share with my kids, their first tattoos. And this was public knowledge, but after work, she just felt like going and get a tattoo. So she did. And I grounded her at 18 years old. Now, granted, the following week, she asked to go to the recruiting office, and she's a genius. And just like that, she was gone. And she winded up getting deployed, which in the Air Force, it's very rare for you to get deployed, especially in your when you're first starting out. But she did get deployed while I was on the road. and she can